Hello, Night Carry here. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all well and fine as always. Now in this video I'll be going through some important tips and tricks you can do with your keybinds. So with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the likes and hit the subscribe button for more videos. I would really appreciate the support. Thank you. So here we are, we got a level 70 druid right here. I picked a druid because there are a lot of abilities and different forms in terms of the importance of keybind use on a class. Now that goes for every class indeed. We got a lot of abilities on a druid. So I picked this class and I'll be showing you what you can do with your keybinds and why. Now we have all the abilities here right in front of us. The main abilities, I got some abilities not put on the bars, but I've got the main ones for sure. We've got the bear form with its abilities and the cat form obviously, which are all important. Now I have nothing set right here, but I'll be going through everything I'm gonna be putting with you guys. So here we are in the keybind section, and let's start with the main action bar. Now obviously you got the main numbers here 1 to 0, and you got the dash and equal. Now most people will keep 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. Some may keep 6. I do. It depends on how comfortable it is for your hand. But nevertheless, let's keep 1 to 5, which is the average. Now we will be changing 6 to equal. Now what keybinds would you put for those ones here? So let's start with a 6, going from 6 to the equal. Now what you can do is you have your shift plus a keybind you want to use. Obviously you can use shift on its own, but we'll keep that for later. Let's go ahead and put shift 1, shift 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now this is very comfortable to use shift 1, 2, 3, 4 until 5. Now if shift is not preferable for you, you can use control, but I myself do not like control. It's not very comfortable for me, but if it is for you, you should definitely use control as well, an extra amount of keybinds. Now you can pick between shift and control, but we are gonna go with shift right here. So we've got 5 with the shift. Now for the dash and equal, for the mouse, I always like to use the scroll up and down. For me is very important and it is very comfortable to use on the mouse or mice. So we are gonna go for scroll up, and the 12th keybind we will go for scroll down. Here we are set with the main action bar full of keybinds. Now let's test out some of the keybinds and see how comfortable they are. You've got the life bloom here, which is on scroll up. You can have it scroll down. Obviously it's a matter of preference, but it is very important to have all your main action bars set. I have my cyclone on scroll down, which obviously there is no enemy here to use it on. I got my shift 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 is for 3 form. What is very important I want to show you is for druids specifically, you got your different forms. You've got the bear, the cat, and if you are resto and you have tree of life, that will be an extra form. Let's go ahead and see the importance of why switching from normal to form affects the keybind you've picked. Now let's say I have cyclone on scroll down, right? And I want to switch to tree of life. Now you want to make sure the keybind you used on your form is parallel or has the same keybind on your next ability you want to use. For example, let's say I use shift 5 on my tree of life and I still have tree of life on shift 5 inside the form. I don't want to be putting tree life for example on shift 2 and outside the tree life I have it on shift 5, because it will confuse you and it will make things hard for you. What you want to do is have them both on the same. Makes it easier to shift and be effective and quick. So we got shift 5 here, back to tree life, outside of tree life, very quick. Let's say we have a rejuvenation on scroll up. Let's say we used it, we want on tree life, and then we've got moonfire on scroll up. Your rejuvenation is on number 4 here, so you will be quite mixed up here. So in my opinion here, what you want to do is have them set in a parallel keybind formation between forms. Now we have healing touch here on number 3, tree of life on number 1. Why? Why don't I put them all on number 3, for example? Then my head knows that in Tree of Life and an outside form, Healing Touch would always be on number 3, and you will get used to it faster. Now, abilities that are not usable in a form, for example, I'll show you here. Why do I have Moonfire in Tree of Life and I have it on Shift 3? Now, let's say I want to use Moonfire quickly. So what do? Is I don't go from using Shift 5 and then going to use Moonfire. What I do is I have it already set in the Tree of Life, so I can quickly leave form and use it instantly. That is why putting abilities in a non-usable form is important. Now let's try with bear form and cat form. Now here I have dash on scroll up and prowl on scroll down. Now prowl and dash, having them on scroll up and down, makes it very efficient and quickly to run away, quickly to intercept someone. Here you have your other abilities, you can put them however you want because they are not interfering with your main bar here. Same thing with bear form, you can have your enrage for example, or your regeneration both on up and down. Makes it really fast and effective going from scroll up and scroll down. I highly advise you guys to have scroll up and down as a keybind. It is very useful. Now we are done with the main set of action bars right here. Let's move on to the extra action bars. Here we are for the bottom left, and we got the bottom right here. So let's start with the left set of action bars. Again, always your keybinds have to be comfortable for you. I am not telling you guys to copy what I'm doing, but I'm giving you a perspective of how it looks like and why having certain abilities in different areas and different set of keybinds. Now we got the first 12 right here. Let's start with the first one here. I would always like to use Q. Now people would use E as a keybind. I don't like to use E because I like to strafe right. I've been used to it for a long time, but obviously if you're used to having E as a keybind, then go ahead and do that. But for me, I don't. So I prefer to use R. I have F, I have C. You can use also T and G. You can have Z and X, which is very important. And then you can change the role play, sit, and remove weapons, put them on a different set of action bar. But for now, we can keep that unbinded. Let's go with important here. Now for 11 and 12, I like to use also keybinds on the mouse. Now scrolling up and down, everyone can do that. But keybinds on the mouse, not everyone has that. So I will be doing it for the people who have extra keybinds on their mouse. I will be using two, the main ones, the ones on the left of the mouse. We got the first one here, mouse button 5 and mouse button 4. So let's go ahead and test that out. We got the bar skin on the first one, and we got the abolish poison, so you can put them as preferable. Obviously you can put different abilities on them, for example like the medallion of war, the PvP trinket, you can have that there. And obviously Q, R, F, C, T and G, you can have that on stun, you can have that with innervate, you can have that with nature's grasp and nature's swiftness, important abilities that are instant. Put them on R, Q, F, C, and you have quick command. Let's try that. You have it on Q. There you will not be clicking abilities that are important in a fight. As I said, the use of shift and control are very important. Not a lot of people use it, but let's go ahead and put keybinds with shift. Right here, we can have 4 keybinds with shift. If you want to have X and Z, it's not a problem. We can keep that for now. X for the dire form and the cat form Z. Now we have 2 more not bound. So what you can do with them is add shift to the keybind. Let's go ahead and add shift X and shift Z. We got more keybinds as well on the right side. Now the bottom right action bar. What I like to do, I never used to use shift a lot by the way. I've always used the Q to G and the mouse keybinds right here. I never was a fan of the shift until I started using it and I got used to it, and now it is a priority for me. So guys, if you are not comfortable with a certain keybind, make sure to try it out for a couple of times until you get used to it. You will then realize that you've missed out on an important keybind that could have saved you in an important fight, Now for the bottom right, you are out of your main keybinds. Now I know you've got the likes of Y, H, V if you want, and other types of keybind. Maybe you are used to using caps lock or tab as a keybind, but I don't. I use tab to switch targets, and I like having caps lock if I want to rage in the chat. I'm just kidding, but I am not used to having caps lock as a keybind. If you want, you can have that. But what you can do here is make use of the shift and control. I am not a fan of control, but I will be putting some as well in case you have extra abilities, extra items, you want to have them on keybinds. You know now that you have shift and control to add to your keybind list. Let's go ahead and use shift. Now what I do here is I keep it consistent and tidy like my left action bar. You have, let's say, Q to Z. If you want to put that in a different order or whatever, however you are comfortable with, doesn't matter. But for your right action bar, how about you keep that tidy to keep your mind at ease while using your abilities. So let's go ahead and use Shift Q, Shift R, Shift F, Shift C, Shift T, Shift G. I already have Shift X and Z here. So we're gonna stop with the shifts. Now what you can do on the other 6 is use control. So we're gonna go with the control. So we have the shifts and control ready and set. Now guys, if you like using or you have keybinds on your mouse, you can do that as well with, for example, shift scroll up or shift scroll down, or with the mouse button, doesn't matter. So we're gonna keep that for the normal keybinds control for now. Now here you are set with everything on keybind, even your mount. If you have trinkets in use, you have them all set on your keybind. No need to be a clicker anymore. Now at the beginning you will be clicking if you are not used to it or you got mixed up. Now maybe I wanted to use my mount and I accidentally clicked Shift E instead of Shift R. I got attacked and maybe I got jumped by a couple of alliance and I died. I wasn't quick enough. It's not a problem. Make sure to get used to it. You're not going to be entering arena, for example, and you just set your keybinds. Make sure to train on them, get used to them, but before that, make sure to pick the right ones. Now as I said here, you can have keybinds on many different things. Let's put a couple of pots, healing pots, and maybe a mana pot. Now you also have pots and elixirs on keybinds, maybe food and drinks if you want as well. Let's say I'm out of mana now, I'm searching for, let's say your mana bar is somewhere here, you are gonna lose a bit of time in searching for your mana pot. Now because you have that in your action bar with a set keybind, will make you efficient and not lose time. Obviously you can have that set on this side of the action bar, but you can have that with your buffs, with your mount as well. So guys, as I said, increasing the set of keybinds is very important, and especially in TBC, most keybinds in classic vanilla was, believe it or not, elixirs, spots and whatnot. Now in TBC you have a lot of different abilities to use, and obviously depending on your class. So now you can see how the keybinds will look like. It is very important to have them all set in a manner that you're comfortable with. Now if you want to use caps lock or tab, you cannot have them included with a keybind. You cannot have tab R, for example, or tab Q. These are only set by itself, so that is 2 keybinds extra if you want. Tab and caps, it is very nice to have everything set on keybinds. You will not want to hover your mouse all over down or to the right side to search for something you want to be clicking. Especially, let's say if you don't have an optimized setup, you have a limited space and you got locked in a certain area that you cannot move your mouse anymore unless you raise it up again. That will save you a lot of time in the game. Maybe if you have different macros you want to need keybinds for, you have a macro, let's say for switching weapons, switching a couple of items, you want to have that keybinded. That is very important. So with that being said guys, this is it for the key binding guide. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I will see you next time. Take care and peace out.